Welcome back. We're joined this morning by a woman with an incredible story. For years, Tiffany Goldstone was dealing with bouts of depression, anxiety, and numerous ailments that she felt was really making her forcing her to live a life in a bubble.
That's right, but her life changed when she met Dr. Tiffany Johnson with Healing Touch Chiropractic.
About 5 years ago, my health kind of took a dive. I was diagnosed with a sleeping disorder called narcolepsy, and before I was diagnosed, I was sleeping about 15 hours every day. I was really only getting up to go to work, and that was about it. And weekends, I was sleeping more than 15 hours, and that went on for a couple months before I was actually diagnosed with the narcolepsy. After that, the treatment plan was to they don't treat the disorder, they treat the symptom, which was being tired all the time. So I was prescribed amphetamines to take 3 times a day, every single day.
Wow.
And that, you know, has its own side effects. And so amphetamines really aren't a very effective way to treat narcolepsy, but it's really one of the only ways that they can treat it. So with the amphetamines, I was having side effects with really high blood pressure, really high anxiety. I was grinding my teeth all day, all night, chewing gum 24/7, and so I didn't ruin my teeth, things like that. And then
different reactions are causing more reactions, and so you have to treat all these different symptoms. Okay.
And I was still thinking about sleeping a lot, and I was still sleeping a lot on weekends and things like that. So it really wasn't a very good, you know, way to be. And then a couple years into that, I developed a different disorder called cyclical vomiting syndrome, where basically I would cycle all day long. Every 3 hours I'd want to vomit, and I either would or I'd feel like it, and my eating became impossible because everything I ate was making me sick. So I was eating cereal 3 times a day, every single day, and then finally they got me on another medication to help with the feeling of wanting to get sick, and that had more side effects where I lost control of my muscles on occasion, and my arms and my legs would start flailing out. And so it was nice not to feel sick all the time, like wanting to throw up, but at the same time I was terrified because I was losing my muscle control.
Oh my gosh.
And my driving was limited. I was only allowed to drive 15 minutes at a time because I was either too tired or things like that.
So here's my question. What were the doctors saying? Like, hey, here's just more meds, more meds, more meds?
Exactly. They said, this is the only thing we can really do to treat you right now. This is your best option. And they were talking to me that I probably wouldn't be able to keep a normal 9 to 5 anymore because of the medication and the side effects and the disorders. And
so at some point, did you just say, at what point were you connected with Dr. Tiffany Johnson?
About 7 months ago, I was doing yoga regularly to try to control the anxiety, and her mother teaches yoga at her chiropractic facility in the evenings, and I was going to her yoga class, and at one point they asked if I wanted to sub in sometimes and help teach, and I said, no, I can't do that because my health is, you know, kind of up and down. I can't be dependent on to be here. And so her mother kind of asked for some more information, and she's like, I really think that you should meet my daughter. You know, she's a chiropractor. I really think she could help. And I was pretty skeptical in the beginning because I didn't make the connection chiropractor and these kind of, you know, central nervous system disorders. I really didn't know how that would work, but she got me connected with her. And
all right, so when we come back, we'll figure out, we'll hear from you, doctor, about how you helped Tiffany get rid of all those symptoms and get her health back on track. So we will be right back. We're back with Dr. Tiffany Johnson and Tiffany Goldstone talking about how chiropractic care helped heal your issues. And what was going on? What do you think? Is it just a matter of doctors prescribing one medicine to cure one ailment and another ailment? And
I think so, and I also feel like we start to lose trust in our body and start to see the difference between common and normal. Like when Tiff came to the office, this was very normal for her. So she knew that she didn't want to be like this anymore, but had absolutely no hope. Like her psychiatrist told her that she could be on disability for the rest of her life. And I said, oh my gosh, no way. That you're 28 years old, you're engaged to the man that you love. What?
But here's what I want to get at, because I think a lot of people out there, and they hear this misnomer that chiros are kooks. Let's just be frank. And so I want you to talk about, hey, this is how I was able to make these adjustments and help heal this woman's body.
That's right. So I talk about it at about a 5th grade level because everyone can get it. That's why I brought my little guy with me, okay? Think of our circuit breakers at home. Everyone has one, right? That big panel downstairs. Think of that in relation to the kitchen in our house. So a circuit breaker goes off that controls the kitchen. What happens to the kitchen?
doesn't
dishwasher
work.
doesn't
Right.
work, fridge doesn't work. That's exactly the same in our body. So the nervous system is what controls every cell, tissue, muscle, organ in the body, and that's what chiropractic is. That's what we don't know. The brain communicates with the spinal cord that's protected by the spine, and then all the nerves control every cell, tissue, muscle, organ. So my job is to find out where the switches are off and turn them back on with the adjustment. Very easy. Now, people will say, do you treat this? Do you treat? Absolutely not. I'm not a medical doctor. That's what they do. They treat disease. What I do is find that light switch off, which in chiropractic we call a subluxation. Our kids call it a submarine because they can't say that word.
Yeah.
That's all about lights being off and turning it on. And like I told Tiff, then God has to do the work. I don't know what it's going to do. I just want to turn the switch back on so that your body can start to heal. How
So
it's
talk about when you
designed
turn the switch back on, what happens in our body to start changing the dynamics so that now she's not suffering from narcolepsy, she's not tripping on amphetamines, that kind of stuff.
Well, I think, it goes back to our bodies. We're not created to be sick. And society right now is very, very sick, and that's become normal. And so every single adjustment, chiropractic adjustment, is getting her brain to start communicating with her body better. So her body knew a pattern that had probably been going on for since you were 13? That's when anxiety, depression, some of those diagnoses started happening, which I adjust a lot of kids, and a lot of girls are going through that same thing at 13. So if they get to that point of not trusting their body, that it can heal and that can be different, it might not be.
I think one of the great things she shared as well is that she's been suffering this from years, but she's only been seeing you now for 7 months?
Yep, and truly it was after 1 week she started decreasing her meds. 6 weeks she was off all of her, six meds, was it?
Yeah, it was probably, like 8 weeks I was able to get off everything.
So you are right now taking no
medication.
just chiropractic treatments. How many times a week? Just
Twice
one?
a week now.
Twice a week.
And are you getting through a day, 9 to 5 job okay? And
Yep.
You're sleeping well?
Yep, sleeping normal, everything's
Normal hours,
normal.
8
Yep.
hours?
Yep.
She can
No
drive.
anxieties, no eating cereal,
No,
3 times
no,
a
I
day.
can eat real
Although
food again.
cereal is kind of good to eat 3 times a day, but there's nothing wrong with that.
as long as it's Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, and that's why this story, miracles happen in chiropractic all the time, but holy crap. I remember seeing her and I'm like, this is gonna be a complete life changer. It is gonna, and she didn't believe it then, but I knew it. I knew it in my heart and soul, that if I can put a little bit more love into that body and allow her to trust it and get God to start working and doing what it's supposed to, it will heal.
And that's how you feel. You just feel amazing, right?
Yep, all my family and friends are just blown away. They're like, you're the old Tiffany again. You're back to yourself. And I hadn't realized how lost I had gotten along the way with all those medications, but all my switches are on, everything's firing, my brain's turned back on, and I feel good.
How awesome.
Great
Thank
story.
you, too, for sharing this story. We appreciate
you.
it very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll be right back.